Eskom has ramped up load shedding to stage 6. That kicked in from 5 o'clock this morning. The utility says this is due to the loss of a further 2 generation units at Lethabo and Matla power stations. A number of units are also currently out for plant maintenance. Eskom is appealing to the public once again to use electricity sparingly. The Electricity Minister Kgosientsho Ramokgopa is also set to give a media briefing this morning to provide clarity on this move. Let's unpack the story further. We're joined this morning by the SA Energy Forum's Executive Director, Hlathi Madela, joins us in a moment. Before we go to that interview, Hlathi, welcome. It's good to talk to you. But I want to just remind our viewers of a conversation you and I had. I think it was on the 11th of June. Take a listen.
Those of us who are close to the situation, we want to guarantee you there will be no load shedding in this country come the 1st of December 2023, and you will never see load shedding in the longest time after that.
Hlathi, did you hear that was your own voice in your ear promising no load shedding from the 1st of December? What's your response this morning to stage 6 being kicked in from 5 this morning?
Michelle, good morning to you and good morning to the listeners. I still stand by that statement because I'm going to read what has put us here right now. 6 power stations, 6 of them, we've lost a unit on each one of them. Lethabo and Matla were not supposed to be off. Those units, they are off because it's an overnight repair. Kriel and Medupi power stations were taken offline for repairs. We're not sure under planned maintenance or whatever repairs. Hendrina and Tutuga, they were supposed to be back, and they write here that they've been delayed. When I said that statement, I knew that I would come under attack. At the heart of the problem, there is no money to bring the power stations and the power units online. The government is covering up. The Minister of Electricity is covering up for his political principle. There is no money there, Michelle, to return these power stations. You just read their statement when they say Hendrina and Tutuga were supposed to have been back, but they've been delayed. What are those delays? Money.
Yeah, I mean, the electricity minister echoed what you told us on the program back in June, Hlathi, that there will be reduced power cuts come the end of the year. And obviously it's something that all of us want to be true, right? Please don't feel that you are under attack here on the AM report.
No.
But the bottom line is, are you saying the point of the story is the fact that these repairs are taking place, as inconvenient as they are for us?
Absolutely. Let me give context again. Look, I'm not feeling under attack at all. I'm here because there are a lot of men and women behind me, and there's lots of great men and women in front of me. I'm just in the middle. There's people who know this power system like in and out, who are unable to come on TV here. Eskom itself says they've got 49,000 megawatts of baseload generation in the system. I've asked the power engineers, they said they have an 80-10-10 principle. What that means is 10% planned maintenance and 10% unplanned maintenance. That means about 5,000 should be unplanned maintenance. But we've been given reports of 16,000. The question to be asked, where is the 10,000 megawatts? Because they're supposed to be in the system and they are not in the system. So we need to ask those fundamental questions. We need to make sure that we force the government and Eskom to account for the 10,000 megawatts that they have completely eroded from the system, because they keep telling us about 16 unplanned maintenance. The word itself says unplanned. I want to give context to this. Unplanned and planned. There is no planning at Eskom, because when you install proper planning at Eskom, you will not have load shedding. They must have proper planning in that company.
Okay, so this is good to get guidance from you on the important issues and questions we do need to ask the electricity minister when he does give a media briefing later this morning. You're saying that Eskom says 10% planned, 10% unplanned maintenance, and that brings us to around, what is it, 10,000 megawatts, right?
Okay, no, let me repeat it again. The system is 49,000.
Right.
10% planned and 10% unplanned. That takes away 10. You should be at 39.
Right.
Then if you want to have a fat reserve margin of 10%, then you can say a further 5%, so 10%, which will give you another 5,000 megawatts should now take you to about 34,000. The system is demanding around 29. You understand what I mean?
Right.
So even when you put all these safety factors of having an unplanned, a planned maintenance, plus a reserve margin, you still land at 34,000 and the system is demanding 29.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, what has happened to that difference of 34 to 26? Because the reason why they are unable to get to 29 is because the sum total of these units that have gone out is 3,000 megawatts. And therefore, now they are taking us from an average of stage 3 load shedding to stage 6 load shedding. This is a fundamental question that needs to be asked. What has gone to these megawatts that you have in the system? No one can answer you that because they have to have the money. And they are taking every cent that you and I pay for electricity and they are giving it to IPPs. I repeat, we are here because of the signing of the independent power producers. Eskom is living off national treasury money. Minister Kgosientsho said the treasury has run out of money. All of a sudden, we are hit with the Eskom problem because Eskom is no longer able to finance its own operation.
Wait, hold on, Hlathi.
Living off national treasury.
Let me come in there. What do you say? There are a lot of numbers flying around that you're talking about. What I'm gathering from you is that there seems to be around 5,000 megawatts that are unaccounted for, right? Because you're saying we need 29,000. Given all of the planned and unplanned maintenance, we should be at 34,000. And yet we're still on stage 6. So the important question you're asking is, where's the other 5,000 that's meant to keep us away from stage 6?
Where's the other 5 to 10,000?
Right.
5 to 10,000. And the answer is money problem.
But surely, I mean, what we know about IPPs is that this is part of our solution to load shedding. It's part of getting us out of the hole that we're in.
It's not. Let us plot the graph for you in this very time of the morning. How many IPPs are pumping to the system and yet they're going to get paid? They're going to get paid today. And when Eskom needs money for maintenance, no one is going to give money to Eskom to bring that 5 to 10,000 megawatts. There's no money for Eskom because it's been getting money from National Treasury. The money for all our collections that we are paying is going to go pay the IPPs. This is what we are wanting to drive to.
But we know that once IPPs are approved, it will take time before they feed into the grid.
No, the IPPs are ineffective, man. If you want to see the IPPs are ineffective, tell me what megawatt of solar are you seeing there at Newzroom? Do you see any megawatts of solar there? Do you see any megawatts of wind where you are? Because if you go to the wind farm, there's like 34 wind turbines and only 3 of them are turning. What are you going to do about the other 29? They don't want to turn. And there's no sun. This is no brainer. Germany is investing between 23,000 megawatts to 43 megawatts of gas to power. Because they have to have the base load first before they can. Renewables is like your thing in the fridge. Your nice things like ice cream and apples and oranges. The problem we have in this country is we are pinning our hopes on this ineffective solution. They never work in any country. I keep repeating this. Where are they as we sit here?
Yeah. Look, I don't know how much solar we have at Newzroom. I don't work for building maintenance. But what are you saying?
Nothing comes to that. Nothing comes there from solar at the moment.
What are you saying, Hlathi? Ultimately, what are you saying to us? Because what we know as lay people, we're not engineers. We don't work in the industry. What we have gleaned from experts in the industry is that IPPs, that renewables, are a big part of the energy mix that we need to solve our electricity crisis. Give me 3 lines on what you're saying should actually be happening.
What should actually be happening? We need to tighten up Eskom planning so that when the sun is available, we utilize it effectively. When the wind is available, we utilize it effectively. But we need a transparent Eskom planning that takes this country into confidence to say, without the base load coal, which is what we have in this country because we haven't got gas, we are doomed. So the prioritization of money must go to bringing back the base load coal power station before we do anything else. That is the solution. At the moment, there's no money to do that.
All right, important questions that we'll need to put to the Electricity Minister, Kgosientsho Ramokgopa, when he gives a media briefing later this morning. In the meantime, Hlathi Madela, who still sticks to his view that we will have no load shedding by the 1st of December. Thanks very much for joining us this morning. He's the Executive Director at the SA Energy Forum.